What's up, people? Welcome back to another Lee's Corner. Today we're going to be talking about Kim Potter's trial. We're going to be talking about Ahmaud Arbery's case that went to a federal court for the hate crimes, for the hate charges, and all of that and more right here on Lee's Corner. Stay tuned. What's up, people? We back. Look, before I jump into Ahmaud Arbery, before I jump into Kim Potter, I want to talk about some things that's going on real quick that I have to get off my chest. Me and Eric talked about this a long time ago. We talked about how there was going to come a time where white people were going to start trying to trade places with black folks. It's happening now. All across the U.S. in these Republican states and so forth and so on, you see white people turning against other white people, teachers and other things, trying to correct the stigma of white privilege in this country. You have white people going out of their way lying, saying that teachers are making white kids have nightmares and coming home hating their white skin because of who they are. And when you go and when people go and research this, they find out that it's not true. No kids are having nightmares. It's all lies. Propaganda. Why? Because they want to use critical race theory and things of that nature to try to win back Senate seats and to try to win back win over the school boards, so they can teach, so they can tell people what to read and what not to read. Yeah, it's to the point now where they're trying to take certain books out of schools. We're getting like Nazis, right? We're going to start burning books, banning books, telling kids what they can and cannot read, and all this craziness and foolishness, right? That's what we're doing. We're becoming like these countries that we talk about all the time, right? All because you're continuously trying to hide the fact that your white privilege and everything else has been out of control for 400 years. And instead of owning up to it, you want to try to hide it. I don't want my kids to know about their ancestors. Why not? You don't mind reaping the spoils of war, do you? People can talk to me all day about, I'm a white man and I work just as hard. Shut the fuck up. You work just as hard with your white privilege. When you come into that bank, most likely 90% of the time you're dealing with a white person. And even a black person is going to give you the benefit of the doubt if you're going up against one, right? Right. Well, see, everything I do is as a black person. And in a complete system that in all factions is mostly ran by white men, the same racist ass white men that used to hang my ancestors, there's a low threshold for me having a shot. Now, that's not to say that I can't succeed. That's to say that we will succeed in spite of, not because of, the bullshit that's already out there. But see, that's, again, is what critical race theory proves. And critical race theory is not in high schools or middle schools or elementary schools. It's in colleges. And there are certain governors and senators right now that are trying to stop funding for certain colleges that teach critical race theory. Why? Because white people, like I said before, me and Eric talked about this before, they know three things: money, numbers, and blood. So they know the statistics on everything, right? They have no problem telling us the statistics of Chicago and how many black people are killing black people. They tout it every time they get a moment. But when we tout about the system and how they fail black people as far as overcrowding and police incarcerations that's like through the roof of black people, when we talk about how we're mistreated in the medical field, how we don't get our proper doses of medication because we black and we don't feel the same way, and not to say we don't have the same kind of pain as white folks do, how we're left out of the corporate and financial industries, and how it's done on purpose. That's what CRT is for. It's there to keep the books on how fucked up this infrastructure system is and how it's continuously being ran that way on purpose. But like I said, you have to be careful about white people, because white people are basically trying to switch places with you. Like I said, they are the victims. That's what people don't understand. They're the victims. You keep fucking around white people in 20 years, we would have had them as slaves. That's how they write the books. We had them as slaves. See, they got to preserve their innocence and everything. And this is what happens when your privilege is on the line, when your privilege is being threatened. This is what happens when you fear that a certain people are about to expose you. You scramble. You do anything you can not to be discovered. Well, it wasn't me that did it. I didn't have anything to do with it. Yeah, but it was your grandpappy and your great-granddaddy. And you have no problem reaping the rewards. If it ain't money, which it probably is, you're still reaping the rewards of having white privilege. But you don't want to talk about that, right? We supposed to just let that go. And then when black people get a little bit of something, here y'all go, reverse racism, as if you knew what it was. As if you knew what reverse racism really is. Stop it. It's madness. Oh my goodness. I mean, think about it. White people want to sit up here and talk about racism, about everything, but yet and still, white people came up with almost every name you have in the book. Asians, even Asians, want to talk about black people, are racist against us. Hold on, white people. Hold on, Asians. Are we the ones that after World War I or II that put you in like pretty much internment camps? Did we do that, or was that white boy? Which ones did that to you? Which ones called you slope and slanty eye? Who did that? Was that black people, or was that white people? Matter of fact, who gave us all our great names? Nigga, slope, slant eyed, mook, Deo, wop, wetback. That wasn't no black people. That was white people. But y'all always want to side up to white folks. Why is that? Why is that? So you won't call out racism towards white folks. But for brother, look at you funny. He's racist. Stop it. Stop it. You're disingenuous and you know it. Oh my goodness. Right wingers. They're another one. I don't give a fuck about Democrat and Republic. I just don't. But when I watch Fox, CNN, and MSNBC, it's funny to see the Republican Party try to look at Democrats. Oh, these elites. These damn elites flying around their private jets. As if there are no rich Republicans. As if there are no oil-bearing Republicans. But they're going to sit here and like, we're of the people. But see, that's what white people do on both sides. That's what white people do. They've always done it. You get the rich that try to tell the poor, I understand you. It's the niggers that's your problem. It's the Asians that's your problem. It's these Mexican wetbacks that's your problem. But not us. Meanwhile, they pull the strings fucking everybody. And because you poor white folks don't want to be labeled poor white folks, you tend to hang out with the Trumpsters. Because he makes you feel important. Even though he talking shit about you later on. Even though he wouldn't even shake your damn hand. Wouldn't even have you over Monte-Largo. But he'll have you go out here in these streets and fight. But he ain't going to have you to his house. But that's how it goes. You can stay trapped in that ideology if you want to, just so you can feel better than a Negro. All of this is just so you can feel better than black folks. That's the funny part. But see, we know we gave birth to all y'all, and y'all still don't know it yet. That's the sad part. Woo. So this indoctrination, they say, that's going on with kids today in school, they're indoctrinating them to hate white people, hate white kids. Well, for the last 300-something years, what have y'all been indoctrinating black people in? To believe that they didn't exist in their own history? To believe that we only exist as slaves, as Jim Crow, and that we created and did nothing? So our feelings don't matter, obviously. But now, you're going to school board meetings and telling everybody, hey, you can't make my kids feel bad about themselves. But you didn't seem to care about black folks not feeling like they didn't matter. But see, that's how it happens. So let's go on to what we're going to talk about today. So let's go ahead to Kim Potter. Well, y'all know Kim Potter had her trial. Now the judge, who was an Asian judge, she was Asian. I believe the jury came back and was going to give them her on the high end of 6 or 7 years. Now, in case y'all didn't know, Kim Potter is the white lady in Michigan who was the cop senior officer who was about to arrest Dante Wright. And remember, he jumped back in his car on the thing, and she was like, taser, and shot him and killed him. That's her. So she did all her crying and stuff on the stand and all this other kind of stuff she did, trying, whatever. And they came back with the verdict. And the Asian, I'm saying Asian for a reason. The Asian judge said, I don't feel that she deserves 7 years. It's hard for her. And I think she made a split-second decision. Oh, she was almost in tears, y'all. She cut it down to 2 years. And the girl gonna have to do less time than that. It's gonna be split in half. She gonna do half of that in jail and half of that at home. And then the heifer had the nerve to get up and do a half-ass apology to the family that she had wronged. But white cops, that's what happens. Less than 1% of them go to jail. Why? Because it's white privilege, taking care of white privilege. Now, every black person that's done shot a white person for whatever reason that was a cop, they under the jail. Explain that. Explain why you want to be a black cop these days. When every time you do something for just cause, they find a reason to put your ass under jail. But when it comes to the white people, no, we can't really do that. This heifer was crying. Now, I've only seen this one other time. When have you seen a judge cry with a killer, with a murderer? When have you seen a judge cry with a murderer? Right? Now, take this back to the cop that went into a black man's house, said it was hers, shot the Negro, and the black judge came off the bench and gave this bitch a damn Bible. Identifying with the murderer. Wow. Don't you find it almost impossible? When have you ever seen a judge come off the bench and give a black man who killed someone a Bible? Or give him less time because I don't think he really did it. Or I don't think it was on purpose. No. We always get the short end of the stick every single time. With blunt force trauma. With extreme prejudice. But when it comes to this shit, she just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't think she did it. Oh, she was damn near in tears. Really? But that's what I said. When you don't have to be white to be fighting for white privilege. You can be Asian. You can be black. You can be Mexican. You can be all of those things. You don't have to be white to be a white supremacist. Because somehow you think fighting for white is going to help you out. But see, what you don't understand about white folks will try to help like this, the real white supremacists. They will spit you up and shit you out. That's just how they do. They will use you for their purpose, and then it's done. You will learn. Eventually, you'll learn. Ahmaud Arbery, my man. The 3 dudes that murdered this man, tracked him down and murdered him like a dog, they have been found guilty in federal court for hate crime charges, and they will be doing their double stint of life in prison. It was a good day. There was some justice right there. That's real. I had to jump on these topics. I want to talk about this biracial dad who slams critical race theory as a discrimination. Anyone who tells my pecan-colored skinned kids they're oppressed would be absolutely wrong. Now, first of all, this nigga right here, any nigga that's gonna go up in front of a school board full of white folks and say my pecan skinned kids, he ain't one of us, y'all. All skin folk ain't kin folk. You gotta watch the infiltrators. You got to watch the infiltrators, because niggas like this, woo, they make it hard for all of us. But like I said, you always gonna have those kind that try to pass. You always gonna have those kind that try to get by as if you're winning something with the white man. What do you think you're getting? If it broke off today, they don't give a damn. You going down. They gonna handle you too. They'll have you kill 50 of your people, and they'll still take you out at the end of the day. It's like the house nigga that turns on the field nigga, and once you tell them that they gone, they're gonna be like, okay, I need you to track them down. Once you help master track them down, they're gonna hang you with them. But see, these little sellouts, they don't know that yet. He sat there for 5 minutes. I'm a biracial dad, and during I've been in this county, and nobody's ever bothered me. I have a business, and for you to tell people, well, first of all, I don't think they're telling people that white people are evil, even though they would deserve it. You know, they would be going on the history and the track record alone. Let's not say they wouldn't deserve it, but I mean, because let's get something straight. When people talk about Hitler and his people, they say all of them, right? No, they say all of them? Right. So in this country, we could get away with saying that too with their track record, right? I don't want to be, I don't want to say nothing, but I'm going to say it. And I'm going to keep saying it. But yeah, you got to watch out for these. You got to watch out for these sellout Negroes, these white supremacists, these black white supremacists. You got to watch out because sometimes they just not all there, and they say shit to come out, and it's all fucked up, and they just I don't know. But yeah, he's supposed to be running for some. What? Let me see. Let me pull it down. Biracial father of 3, who's running for North Carolina General Assembly from Cabarrus County. Not a black person in the room when he's speaking. Nothing but white folks. Cabarrus County. I know what Cabarrus County is. I used to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I know exactly where Cabarrus County is. And like I said, he chose that venue because he knew wasn't gonna be no black folks there to get in that ass. He knew that wasn't gonna happen. So that's why he did it like that. That's why he did that because he knew wasn't gonna be none of us there, and he could fight for white and get more business for his business, and everything would be great, right? So, like I said, you gotta watch people like that, cause, whoo, man, that's why I say anybody can be a white supremacist. It don't matter about color. Well, let's jump on Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan been saying nigga for 20 years, and he tried to back it up. I never meant to say this. Look, nigga, look, Joe. Whenever you sit there and you go in front of some black people, you get let out in a black area and you start saying Planet of the Apes, this is Planet of the Apes, what the fuck do you think that's supposed to mean? You was trying to make it funny? So if I stepped out in a white neighborhood and I said, oh shit, I'm in a land full of fucking Hannibal Lecters, hot damn. What you gonna think? Or a bunch of fucking school shooters. What you gonna think? Did that make that funny enough for you? Is that funny? But the funny thing about Spotify, when have you ever seen a CEO come out and say, I'm gonna back him? I don't agree with his message or what he said, but I'm gonna back him all the way. That's how good it is to be white. You got white CEOs from Spotify coming out saying, I'm still gonna back him. In the meantime, Whoopi Goldberg gets 2 weeks. In the meantime, Nick Cannon gets put on hiatus for a year for saying something about Jews. But you can say nigga anytime and keep your show and get added more money. They're going to double his money. Yeah. That's how good it is to be white. But see, like I said, black folk need to push back on this. Black folk needs to push back. We need to push back every time. Every time white folk, you know how they used to talk about how sensitive we were? We were so sensitive. Anytime you say black, everything's about being black. Everything's about being black. Oh, well, ain't we sensitive now, Mr. White Man? Ain't everything about being white now? Ain't you so mad at everybody because you hurting your children? I want every black person that can listen to my voice. I want y'all, every time somebody say black, that's white. Like, what? Excuse me? Black what? What was that? Get in that ass every time. They want us to be touchy. Show them how touchy we can be. We're gonna be just as touchy as the Jews. We're gonna be just as touchy as white folks. Let's get in that ass. Every time they say something on TV, I don't care what. Excuse me, what was that? Black what? Make them explain themselves. No, I was just saying the black on my sole of my shoe is okay. Oh, I was just making sure that's what you was saying. Okay, I thought I heard nigga or negro. No, why does everything gotta be so rich? Do you want to talk about why everything gotta be so rich for me? Do you really want to do that? Because we can have that convo if you want to. We can have that. Every time somebody say black, that ain't white. That's white. Jump in that ass. Excuse me, black what? I don't care if they talking about their radio player or whatever it is. Color they shirt. I got this black shirt blouse. Excuse me, black what? What you said, my mama? What? Jump in that ass. They want to be funny, we can be funny too. Make everything, get real touchy with them. Get real touchy. I ain't trying to keep y'all, but I'm gonna end with this. Be careful out there. And if y'all in some of these districts that are dealing with this fake ass critical race theory in school boards, black people, if it's enough of you, get up there and handle this shit. Handle this business. And you know what? If you really want to be badass about it, black folks, how about let's start pushing back on them about their curriculum? How about their everyday curriculum? We push back on it. Say, ain't enough black folks in there. You ain't talking enough about black people in history. We did more than that. We'll show you our history and you implement it in. How about that? You don't want 1619 Project? Fine. we'll get black historians together with you and interweave our stuff into history as it was anyway. How about that? I bet you don't want to hear about that either. But that's what we need to start doing. We need to start saying, no, we don't like the way our children are being taught either. We need to change the curriculum. Statewide. Let's go. That's what we need to start doing. Woo! It has been an honor and a privilege. I'd like to take this time out to say thank y'all for listening. There's going to be more Lee's Corner. We got more coming for you. I'm going to have to get back with Eric sometime pretty soon. You know, COVID's had me very restricted. I haven't been able to, let it go in a while. So, and get with a lot of people. But, we're getting vaxxed. We're getting this, that, and the other. So, we're going to see what we can try to pull off with other people and everything else. Hopefully, everything's going to be great. Anyway, like I said before, be sure to continue to tune in. I appreciate all the support out there. Thank y'all, everybody, for listening. And remember, always tune in Lee's Corner where we talk about the things you want to talk about. Till next time.